All right, back so soon. Hello again. This is going to be the second video for the quadratic formula. In this example, I'm going to use the same procedure, but now my answer is going to be a set of two irrational roots. So just as a refresher, I have the quadratic formula here, which is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all being divided by 2a. I have put my 4 steps over here. Make sure your equation's in standard form. List your ABCs. 3, plug them into the quadratic formula. And then 4, simplify. Boom. There we go. So here is our second example. I got x squared plus 8x plus 9 equals 0. I need to solve this equation using the quadratic formula. So first, look and see if it's in standard form. It is. Next, we're going to label our A, B's, and C's. Or as I used to say in class, A, B, C. It's easy as 1, 8, 9. 1 being the coefficient in front of x squared, 8 being the middle term, and then 9 being my constant. Now, it's time to plug them into the quadratic formula. X equals negative b. No need for parentheses there. It's a positive number. Plus or minus the square root of, I'm going to put b squared in parentheses there, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 9, all being divided by 2 times a, which is 2 times 1. All right, now we just got to simplify. Let's start with the radical, because I can't simplify negative 8, so I'll go plus or minus. I'll color code this work over here. 8 squared is 64. And then negative 4 times 1 times 9 is negative 36. So then 64 minus 36 is, let's take a look, just so I'm not wrong on camera. 64 minus 36, 28. What a fun number. So, what an absurdly long radical. I guess to show all of my work, however, I'll say 64 minus 36. And then that is being divided by 2. All right. So let's simplify that a little bit more. X equals negative 8 plus or minus radical 28 over 2. And now the hard part. So radical 28 needs to be simplified. That's my last step there, is I need to simplify radical 28. Now, how do I know that 28 can be simplified? Well, it has a perfect square root. Radical 28, I know, can be rewritten as radical 4 times 7. And radical 4 is a perfect square. Radical. So that's radical 4 times radical 7. So that means that simplifies to 2 radical 7. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite that over here as x equals 8 plus or minus, I'll even color code it for you, 2 radical 7 divided by 2. Okay? All of this is just simplifying, by the way. Now, 8 is an even number. 2 radical 7 is still technically an even number. And my denominator is an even number. So if those all can be divided by 2, then I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I get this. X equals 8 divided by 2 is 4. The plus or minus stays. And then this 2 root 7 divided by 2 gives me 1 root 7, but I can just say radical 7. And then, believe it or not, those are my two answers. I can list that out as x equals 4 minus radical 7 and x equals 4 plus radical 7. But that plus or minus sign is going to be really important for us to use and understand. So here I have my two irrational numbers, x equals 4 plus radical 7 and x equals 4 minus radical 7. This is our second example of using the quadratic formula, where we get two irrational roots as our final answer. Stay tuned for more examples.